What a fall from grace. Marcus Rashford, once compared to the likes of Mbappe and Vinicius Jr., is now reportedly linked to Como. Out of all teams, Como, a mid-table team in the Serie A, a random team that signed Varane before, he just disappeared from the face of earth. They are in the race to sign Marcus Rashford. Lads, this man was once being compared to the likes of Mbappe and Vinicius, and now he's being linked to mid-table clubs in Italy. This is one of the worst falls from graces I've ever seen since Eden Hazard, who was once one of the best players in the Premier League, goes to Real Madrid and just falls off. This is absolutely disgraceful. And to be honest, if anyone is to blame, I'm gonna have to say it. It's Marcus Rashford. He's absolutely lost the mentality. He went from, focusing on football only to whenever he had the chance, he'd go back to America and you'd see him at a basketball game, at a club. You see all these different types of distractions. And Marcus Rashford, who's in his prime, he's around 27 years old, and he's now being linked to Como. You'd think Marcus Rashford is 33, 34 years old, leaving his prime, but he should be in his prime right now. Instead, he can't even get on the pitch with Ruben Amorim due to his mentality and, his performances off the pitch, which is in training. So he needs to really lock in. Now, not only that, I think the more realistic one would be going to AC Milan for him, not Como, because Milan is still a competitive team in the Champions League. They're fighting for the title, just won the Super Cup. But the thing is, there's lots of options performing well at Milan. Pulisic is doing extremely well. Rafael Leao is their number one guy. They have a bunch of attacking options right now. I just don't think Marcus Rashford right now even starts at Milan. He'd be lucky to be getting cup games, but to be honest, that's more than he'd be getting at United, because at the moment, they prefer even Anthony, who's been their worst transfer of all time, over once the star boy of United, once the man who surpassed PSG single-handedly, with a little help of Lukaku. This is the man. This is the next best thing. They were saying the next Ronaldo for Man United. And now he's being proposed on loan with options to buy. Not even, it's absolutely a fall from grace. And I feel like United might have a bit of responsibility too. We all know Ronaldo exposed that their training facilities haven't been the best. You bring in a new manager and Ruben Amorim, and he has a strict policy on many things, wants to get rid of a lot of players. And Marcus Rashford isn't helping his case, because it's not like he's being strictly focused on football. Ruben Amorim comes into the job, right away. There's a 5-day break, and they say, oh, what, players take a break, and then you see Marcus Rashford courtside at a basketball game in the NBA in America. So that kind of shows his focus. Man United is a struggling team, in the bottom half of the league. And you're Marcus Rashford, right now was at the time the face of United, and you're in America instead of training. If you were top of the league, if you're in Liverpool's position, we would have saw Mo Salah in his 5-day break watching a basketball game courtside. You couldn't tell him anything, because you're top of the league in the Champions League, you're top of the league in the Premier League, you're performing. What is anyone gonna tell you? Marcus Rashford, on the other hand, worst season of all time for him and his team, and he's over there in America. So I understand Ruben Amorim. There's no blame to Ruben Amorim. Maybe whoever gave the choice of letting the players do whatever they want for 5 days, maybe they're a bit responsible there. But at the end of the day, if Marcus Rashford really, really wants to, reignite his career, and I think this is it makes sense for United as well. And hear me out on this. You might be saying, why does United, benefit from a loan to Arsenal? I think, Arsenal and United both did not benefit from a deal, right? If 25 billion goes from Arsenal to United and Marcus Rashford goes, doesn't make sense. Not even for Rashford. I think a loan with no obligation to buy, no nothing, similar to the Sterling thing, just for the rest of the season, can reignite this man's career. It's kind of like a Jadon Sancho type of deal. And in Man United's shoes, you are sitting below 10th. You are not in no Champions League race. You are barely in a European competition race. Right now you should be focused on getting to 10th place. But right now, you hate Liverpool and City more than you hate Arsenal. Arsenal are your best chance of Liverpool and City not winning a Premier League. So if you send Marcus Rashford to Arsenal on a loan, split the wages, for the rest of the season and he performs, not only do Arsenal get a better chance of winning the Premier League, and your two, um, rivals like extreme hatred for is City and Liverpool don't win the Premier League, and you have Arsenal a little bit more competitive, a little bit more, ignition on their attack with Marcus Rashford, which is better than Trossard and Martinelli on the left hand side. He performs. Not only does the price tag go up, but your rivals are going to be getting hurt with Marcus Rashford in form. Arsenal wins the Premier League, and Arsenal get their attack bandage, and you end up getting Marcus Rashford a bigger transfer fee, and you get rid of him for a higher value, similar to what Jadon Sancho did with Dortmund on his loan. Obviously, the problem is if you send him to Milan and he's not starting over Pulisic and Leao, who are in form right now, going up against Inter, who have been very successful in the Serie A, and they end up beating them, and you have Pulisic and Leao having great performances. Rashford's not starting over that. I'm sorry. Even Tammy Abraham's is gonna get started more than Rashford. I'm sorry to tell you. So Rashford's best case, you go to Arsenal, where he's gonna be the clear favorite to start at the left hand side. If Saka gets healthy, you have Saka on the right, and then they decide whatever they want to do with Gabriel Jesus or even Havertz up top. It makes them a better attacking team. And it helps, if he's over here bagging great performances against Premier League sided teams, maybe even you have a Tottenham or a team like Chelsea go in and offer a big transfer fee. So it's a win-win for everybody. You end up getting him back. It's a little band-aid. You're not even competing for no title, for no Champions League football. This doesn't affect the Man United season. And then you get him back, and then you could sell them and raise funds. I think it's a win-win for everyone. And that's what United should do. But anyways, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below where you think United should do, or what do you think Man United should do with Marcus Rashford. But anyways, thank you guys for watching.